I forgot to ask you about this the other day. How's your back doing? Scott Brooks mentioned you had a little sore back after that. I want to say second preseason game. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just a little general soreness. Um, Doing a better job of just taking care of my body. We ramped it up over the last couple of days, so uh, it's a lot better. I'll be good to go tomorrow.
Okay. And also, I don't know if you've heard, but Keonte was just released from the hospital. There
Hmm.
anything you want to say to him, his family, or anything of that nature? Hearing
No,
that
for
good
sure.
news.
For sure, I sent Keontae a personal message not too long ago. But it's big time to be able to do what he's doing. It takes courage, it takes passion, and fight. And the whole world was behind him. Everybody was supporting him, and it's a beautiful blessing. It's another step in life, man. He's blessed with another opportunity. So the biggest thing is making sure that he's okay, he's healthy, and just take it a day at a time and a step at a time from here on out. So it's a blessing for the Florida family, for his family, and for the whole country, for sure.
Appreciate you, P.
Yeah.
Fred,
Hey, Brad, you ever done media from an airplane before?
Yes.
Well, that was not
Probably
what
not
you
on Zoom, but yes.
expected. I'm wondering, last year you said going into the year your goal was to make the playoffs. You said after the year that one of your goals coming in was to average 30. Do you have similar goals or other goals that you're looking to this year?
I said last year I wanted to average 30.
You said after you finished with 30 that one of your goals coming in was to average 30. Or maybe Drew Hanlon said that.
Yeah, I don't think I said that. I said my goal going into last year, a personal goal of mine was to average 30. I don't think I publicly said that. Uh, but Drew and I, we definitely questioned whether or not that was a possibility. And granted, it was a blessing that I was able to. But this year, that's not. I'm not going to sit here and say that's a goal of mine. It's not at all because I feel like I don't have to prove that I can score. I don't think I have to prove that more or less, and I won't have to carry that much of a load this year either. Especially with we have Russ and then having DB back and having our guys healthy. There won't be a need for me to do that on a nightly basis. So I'll definitely have my spurts of where I may have them, and I'll be aggressive every single night. And Russ pushes me every single day to make sure I do that. But I'm not going out here chucking up shots trying to get 30 a night. The biggest thing for me is getting better every day, improving my defense. I'm always going to say that. That's probably the only thing I'm really more or less focused on as being a complete two-way player and doing whatever it takes to help my team win and get into the playoffs. I want to win, whatever it looks like, whatever it takes.
Did you feel like the offensive load that you had last year contributed to not being able to go as hard in other aspects of the game, defense,
Uh,
off ball, that kind of stuff?
yes and no. I factor in a lot of slacking on the defensive end, I guess, in terms uh, to a lot of stuff. I mean, we were crappy as a team defensively, and when we're crappy as a team and we're not good individually, it doesn't. It's just a domino effect. So I would say my individual defense was okay. I would say my help side was terrible. My transition was terrible, and I guess probably a lot of times maybe my body language on the defensive end was terrible. But that's no excuse for me to have the lax or the slip ups that I had. So that's definitely been a focus of mine this year, though.
Chris Miller.
What up, B?
What else, C?
Can you describe what shared experience means, maybe off the floor with a teammate that actually happens on the court, that actually happens for teams to get better? Like if you've got a shared experience with somebody, how much does that help be a productive teammate, I guess?
Uh, I don't know if I put a lot of stock into that because I would say experience in itself. I wouldn't necessarily say shared experience. Granted, the camaraderie you build in that is second to none. It's always better that way. But I always feel like you can teach and you can mentor the game. Through your own experience, especially like to younger guys. Like you can pretty much teach them and try to show them, and you can tell them what to do. How the game will go, how the game will grow, how it'll slow down for them in that sense, and not necessarily have to play with them. Like you can be an older vet on a team and don't get any burn, and yet you're instilling all this knowledge into a younger player who does and who's kind of thrown into the fire. So I think it's twofold. I hear what you're saying on that. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Like I do believe that you have to get on the floor together. You have to be able to bond. You have to be able to, share some type of experience together to be able to get that down. But at the same time, I don't put heavy stock into that, because it's adaptability on everybody's part.
One question on Philly. They've made some additions by putting some shooting around Ben and Joel. How much did you take away from those 2 preseason games in terms of your film study?
Um, a lot. We know that they still are kind of a slow paced team, so we want to speed them up and try to get them to play a little bit faster. But they're still a threat. They added Danny Green, uh, champion 3-point shooter, and Seth Curry is one of the best. I think he had the highest 3-point percentage last year out of everyone shooting the ball. So it's we got our hands full. They have a big fella down low who can give you a bucket, and he can step outside too. So he's very versatile. And they got size. So I like how they put their team together. But we love challenges, and I love the way we're put together too. So
Appreciate it.
I'll take just a few more. Chase.
Hey, Brad. What do you think of
Mhm.
potential for the offense this year? Because it seems like you guys have threats in all 3 levels at this point.
Oh, 100%. I'm not sure where we finished at in offense last year, but given how shorthanded we were at times, and the mixed lineups we had, I mean, that was never a problem. That was offense was never a problem, and I think this year it's going to even think we can score over 115, 120 points a night. So, we have that ability, and like you said, we can score at all 3 levels. So that's never the problem. That's not the issue for us, and it'll never be the issue. It's what we do on the defensive end collectively.
And this may be a dumb question, but what's this logo we're looking at that's on your background and your mask? Is that your logo, and did you design it?
It's my logo, yes. Did not design it, but it is my new logo, yes.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Zach.
Hey, Brad, good to see you. I want to ask about Rui. It must be frustrating as a young player in the middle of his development to miss time like this. What's the kind of mindset he needs to maintain while he's out?
Well, being a young player, when I first came into the league, I didn't play a lot of games my first, 4 or 5 years in the league, either due to injury and due to like unfortunate, out of my control circumstances. So, the best you can do is keep your head straight up, lift your head, because don't fall into the trap of being injury prone or being labeled like you can't stay on the floor. A lot of unfortunate things happen to Rui. We know how hard he works. That's never in question. His work ethic and everything he puts into the game, his love and his passion for it. Nobody questions that. Obviously we want him on the floor. We want him healthy, but making sure he's 100% is the first and the biggest concern. And your health is always, your body's your temple. Your body's the reason why you can play the game. So if that's not right, by all means, take your time and get it right. So he'll be fine. Just continue to stay confident, stay in film, continue to figure out ways to continue to grow your game. You can grow it in multiple facets. It doesn't have to just strictly be on the court. It could be off the court too. So he'll be fine. He has great vets he can lean on to be able to get him through.
All right,
Thank
last
you.
question from Neil.
Hey, Brad, the media and fans, I would say, talk a lot about expectations. So I'm curious, do players think about that as well? And then also, secondly, is it difficult, if not impossible, to talk about playoff expectations when that's still so far away?
Yeah, I answer the playoff one. Yeah, that's always a tough one because there's only I guess 10 spots now, but there's only 8 teams get in. So, you kind of have to figure out, who those 8 are going to be. And, there's hungry teams out here that everybody wants to get in. 15 teams want to get in. So, it's do or die. So it's always tough to kind of pinpoint, what your expectations are. You don't know how the year is going to go. It's a crazy year we have from the get-go already. So, it's always crazy to kind of pinpoint the playoffs, but, everyone has expectations. Everyone's going to have, goals and expectations for them teams and for themselves. And for us personally, we still have them. You know, our biggest thing is make sure we stay healthy and competing every single night, which hasn't been a problem so far.
All right, Brad, appreciate your time.
Yep.